In this week's episode, we are off to far north Queensland. We're going to the capital of far north Queensland called Cairns, and it's a fabulous place to base yourself if you want to go out to the reef or you even just want to go and have a nice food and wine experience. We're going to tell you which islands to go to, which beaches to go to, how to get around, and the best way to see the reef and the best restaurants and all the options for accommodation. There's so much in this episode, so please enjoy episode 148, all about Cairns in far north Queensland. Good morning, Lyle. How are you today?
G'day, Leonita.
So, as I said in the intro, we are off to tropical far north Queensland,
Yep.
to Cairns, and this is episode 148. And we did a quick little actually, it wasn't too quick, 5-night trip up in this part of Australia, which is very popular, isn't it, with tourists and Aussies alike, for good reason.
Yeah, it's magnificent. It's, as you say, it's on the northeast coast of far north Queensland. It's built on the shores of the Trinity Bay overlooking the Coral Sea. It is renowned globally as the ultimate gate to both the Great Barrier Reef and the ancient wet tropic rainforest.
Which is true, because you're right there on the marina.
Yep.
And you can see the tropic rainforest in the hills.
The city is the premier launch pad for snorkeling, scuba diving, and scenic helicopter flights over the world's largest coral reef.
We've done one of those, haven't we? They're fun. They're like the coral reef from above. Oh my gosh, it just looks so amazing.
Yeah. And you've also got the very close by is the Daintree and the wet tropical rainforest. They're located just north of the city. These are the oldest continuously surviving tropical rainforest on Earth, featuring lush heights, waterfalls, and exotic wildlife like the cassowary.
That's that big birds.
Yeah.
Big.
And this is another one of those Australian animals that...
bit of an urban myth.
Well, they're not urban myths at all, really.
That they're dangerous, I guess they are.
Well, they're dubbed the world's most dangerous bird. Of course, like everything in Australia, it's the most dangerous.
Birds as well,
yeah.
If the snakes, the crocodiles, the spiders, the magpies, the drop bears, they don't get you. The cassowaries.
No, and they're all in North Queensland, all in the far North Queensland. So
I don't know how we got out of there alive, Lyle.
They are highly territorial and can inflict fatal injuries. While they generally prefer to avoid people, they will attack if they feel threatened.
I think if you had a totem pole of what animals have killed people and how many, cassowaries,
well, it'd be down low. Yeah. But when they do it, they do a good job. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, then there's also the tropical islands. It provides quick boat access to picturesque islands getaways like Green Island and Fitzroy Island. Fitzroy Island, located just a 45-minute ferry ride from Cairns, is surrounded by shallow, accessible reef. It is a brilliant place to snorkel with tropical fish and green sea turtles right off the shore.
And it makes it really good when you're heading out further on the reef because you're sheltered by those islands for the first 45 minutes of your trip. The thing that's probably people need to know is, how do you get to Cairns?
Okay, so you can catch the train from Brisbane, which is the capital city of Queensland, but really it's about a 25-hour trip.
You can fly to Europe quicker than you can get the train to Cairns.
Yeah, that's true. So obviously the best way is the Cairns International Airport directly services countries across the Asia-Pacific region, including New Zealand, Japan, Singapore, Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, Fiji, and Hong Kong. Flights from Brisbane, capital city of Queensland, is 2.5 hours, and flights from Australia's capital city, Sydney, are approximately 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Not Australia's capital city.
What?
Sydney.
Oh,
Canberra is Australia's capital city.
That is true. Sorry.
The capital of New South Wales.
The capital of New South Wales, which is the main city that people from overseas fly into. So it's,
and Melbourne would be about the same sort of time, wouldn't it?
For us as Australians, that 3-hour flight is quite short. but probably for overseas,
It's a distance.
yeah, like for Europeans,
Yes.
that's like flying one country to another.
But we also flew from the Sunshine Coast, so the bigger regional airports might fly to Cairns as well. So
Yeah. So the actual airport's a really good airport. It's quite big, but well signed.
It's a great airport.
And to get to taxis or ride shares is all well signed and labelled. So yeah, it's really good.
I'm just going to add in here now. We met some other travellers, and we met a couple from Germany, and they had driven from Brisbane. And I think that's a thing that a lot of overseas visitors want to do. They want to drive up the coast. But honestly, once you get up 3 or 4 hours from Brisbane, there is nothing to see. You don't go through any towns. The landscape is scrubby. It's just it takes you, as I said, as long to drive from Brisbane to Cairns as it does to fly from Brisbane, Australia to Europe. Like it is, if you've got a short amount of time, you just don't want to be doing that. There's not even anywhere nice to stay on the way. Sorry, all those towns. But like honestly, if you,
I think horrible's probably a bit harsh.
It is like
but I think for time,
it's scrubby.
Yeah, for time, if you've only got a short time in Australia,
you're not driving along palm tree roads. And seeing beautiful ocean views. Like it's really not a nice drive. And if you've got a short amount of time, don't waste it driving from Brisbane. If you need a car, get one when you get up there. There's hundreds hire cars around up there, rental cars. Just don't drive. is my advice. They agreed with me though. That couple, they weren't going to drive back. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, so bit of history.
Okay. The region's original inhabitants have called the area known as Gimu home for thousands of years. Formally established on October 7, 1876, and named after Queensland's Governor Sir William Cairns, the site had to be laboriously cleared of dense mangroves and swamp to build the walls. Cairns became a strategic military base for Australian and Allied forces during the Pacific Offensive during World War II. Now, where did we stay? What did you think?
Well, I picked it, so I would want to be happy. But it was a great spot. It was right on the marina. It was called the Shangri-La. It wasn't always the Shangri-La. I think it was called the Pier when it was first built. Now, Cairns was, talk about the history, but it really took off in the 80s and 90s. So that's when these hotels were built. Now, the one we stayed in, the Shangri-La, it is massive, but it's only 2 stories high, 2 or 3, wasn't it? And so there were just hundreds of rooms and really long corridors, but the rooms were great, the staff were great, the views were great. Like whatever side you're on, you're either looking, I mean, if you had an internal room, you'd be looking over the pool, but you're either looking over the beach area or the marina area, and just all the restaurants and facilities around where we stayed was great. And if we're going back there, I'd just go straight back to the Shangri-La. I mean, there's other places that I'm sure are just as convenient, but it was easy, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, like the other thing, it was only about 10 minutes taxi ride from the airport.
Airport's not far,
and the best part of it was the location. Like it was just fabulous because you're only 5 minutes walk from the Esplanade.
Yes.
Which is a boardwalk that goes
the promenade that walks along the waterfront.
Waterfront, and then if you turn right, you're on the marina. The Marla Marina boardwalk, which is beautiful as well.
And that goes down to the cruise terminal because there are some cruise ships that sometimes dock here.
Yeah.
And that's one of their stops. And then you can get off the cruise ship and either explore Cairns, the mountain region, or go out on the reef for the day. And it's not even a kilometre basically from that area all the way along that boardwalk, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll just give you a bit of a spiel on the Esplanade. Features a massive 4,800 square metre free saltwater swimming lagoon, complete with lifeguards. The boardwalk is lined with lots of great cafes and restaurants. There are playgrounds for the kids and dedicated exercise stations for those healthy people. Also, a prime spot for viewing native pelicans, shorebirds, and local wildlife along the tidal mudflats. As we said, as far as turning right, the Cairns Marla Marina Boardwalk, a pedestrian-owned waterfront trail connecting the Reef Fleet Terminal to the Cairns Cruise Terminal, as Leanne said.
Now
It's an easy 10 to 15-minute stroll packed with super yachts, scenic ocean view, bars and restaurants. The Salt House, often referred to as the Salt Bar, was definitely our favourite waterfront dining venue.
and
Drinking venue, sorry.
It is on the corner, so where the promenade from the city meets the marina, it is where the Salt House was, and that go back to that lagoon you're talking about. That's one of the things a lot of people go to. The reason they choose to go to Cairns and stay there, because you can't swim in the water.
Why can't you swim in the water?
Well, because of stingers, which kill you, and crocodiles. But that's anywhere in northern Queensland. That's not unique to Cairns. But they've made this beautiful big lagoon. And as I said, episode 148, I'm going to put pictures of where we stayed and the promenade and the marina. But this lagoon, I've got some really nice pictures of that. And it's so big that, yes, I can see why they need lifesavers. But there's lots of areas where there's shallow areas, there's little water fountains, and at the other end, it's almost like an infinity pool when you're looking from the promenade sort of back towards the water. And they've got a couple of shady areas as well. And around the lagoon we're talking about playgrounds and things, but beautiful grassed areas.
Yeah, parklands.
Yes, but where you can sit as like a mum and dad and the kids can play. There's plenty of space. And there's also obviously facilities like toilets and showers and a cafe there as well. So it's really a fabulous...
It's a really good setup.
Really good setup, and great for an outing for locals, but a nice way to spend an afternoon for visitors as well if you wanted to swim and just chill out in that area.
Yeah, well, that first morning, remember, we walked along the Esplanade and we thought how beautiful. We ended up having breakfast at one of the cafes that line the street there, and that was great.
And the promenade, or the walkway, as we're talking about, is very wide. So there's plenty of room to walk. Every time you look out your window, there's someone either riding a bike, there's kids on scooters, there's people walking, and it's lit up beautifully at night too. Pretty fairy lights in the trees and colours. So you're shining. It is very picturesque, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely. However, I would love to give you a little bit more information about the Salt House.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't want to forget about talking about the lagoon.
And rightly so, Leanne.
Yes, because it was one of my favourites. So.
Yeah. So the Salt Bar, which was obviously our favourite drinking bar, it's very glamorous vibe, stylish oasis combining fire features, flowing water gardens, DJ and live music, and there's a happy hour every day from 4 to 6 with tap beer, house wine, and that was $6.
You see our priorities. I want to talk a family lagoon, so I wants to talk happy hour.
Well, that's true, but it was very glamorous. Look, the thing that surprised me is that the drinks weren't that expensive, and it's right on the water.
Yeah.
Like it's beautiful. Like in the helipad that takes all the people out to the reef is right next to it, so you can watch them take off. It's just in a really great location, and again, it'd be less than 5 minutes walk from where we were staying, the Strangler. So,
and you're right. You're sitting there, and you're on a wooden little boardwalk, and there's a little pond underneath it. And as we were sitting there that first day, they're coming around and lighting the torches, so it's giving that tropic, obviously to keep the mozzies away as well, but that wonderful tropical sort of feel. But it's like a series of pergolas, like outdoor pergolas, and maybe just at different levels, but not too much. So it's almost like you go down to the bar, and then you're up to sort of where the DJ was, and then around a little bit you could order bar food, but they also had a restaurant at one end, and the staff were just busy the whole time.
Yeah,
and
very busy.
You get some nice booth chairs, so you could be really comfy and settle in. Or then they had an area sort of out the front, which was on the grass, where they had like smaller sort of chairs under beautiful umbrellas and just that beautiful beach vibe. And we could hear music every night that we were there.
Yeah. And then less than 5 minutes walk from the Salt House were a couple of restaurants that were highly recommended by a couple of locals. Dundee's on the waterfront at the Cairns Marlin Marina Harbour Lights Complex has fabulous views of Trinity Inlet, unique wine list and sensational food. Famous for its flavours of Australia menu featuring fresh seafood, steak, crocodile and kangaroo. We picked the duck, which was a bit
I always
different.
go the duck.
With a granite belt, Robert Shannon Verdello. The duck was magnificent. We both had it.
I don't normally take photos of food, but I did up here. I would say that we were blown away by the food and wine experience in Cairns. And we were there as a little treat before I had to have an operation in hospital. So we were just like, weren't holding back. We were just going to enjoy ourselves. And we thoroughly, just every restaurant we went to,
was excellent.
And that one, of course. So I did get, as I said, some nice photos of the actual restaurants, but as of the food as well, because the way it was displayed, like it was spectacular. Like, you could have been in any fine dining city, couldn't you?
Well, the following night we both had rack of lamb at Orca, which is ACHRE, which is right next to the Dundee's, and again it was sensational.
I think it's Ochre with an O.
Oh, okay. What did I say?
It's Ochre.
Yeah. So that was fabulous.
And once again, you feel like you're outdoors, but you're indoors. Yeah, obviously it's the climate up there. You can do that, but it's not like you're sitting on crappy furniture on a veranda. Very upmarket, but I just love that vibe, because one restaurant sort of opened into another. They had barriers, obviously, that defined them, but you weren't stuck in four walls.
No, that's true.
It was really, the way they've done that whole marina dining precinct is really good.
I think it's as good as anywhere we've been.
Yeah, it was fabulous. Yeah, so Ochre, we really enjoyed that.
So the Cairns CBD is a vibrant tropical getaway that perfectly balances a bustling commercial hub with a relaxed holiday atmosphere. The city embraces a year-round open-air lifestyle with leafy streets, alfresco dining, and a warm, laid-back feel. Packed with world-class restaurants serving fresh seafood, lively pubs, and laneway bars. Shopping hubs like the Cairns Night Market and Rusty's Market are famous for fresh local produce and artisan crafts. The main railway station, which is located at the edge of town, adjacent to the very modern Cairns Central Shopping Centre, is only a 15 to 20 minutes walk to the Esplanade and Marina Boardwalks. So.
And that is all it is, because we walked that one day, and even with my sore leg, it only took us that long.
Yeah. So it's not a big place by any stretch of the imagination.
I'd say it's probably 4 blocks square, that main area, and you've got high-end shops, and then you've got this Rusty's Market, which is like an outdoor market indoors, which is, as you said, the freshest produce you've seen, all the tropical fruits, and then they've got we found it too late, but a little cafe over on the side where the locals go, and just a really unique little experience there. You can get that sort of a little bit of takeaway food there, but it's mostly fresh produce and some other products as well. There was a guy cracking coconuts open, and people are drinking the coconut juice and the coconuts straight out of that. And it takes up from one side of one street to the parallel street, so you can walk all the way through and end up on the other side. And there's also a couple of pedestrian-only streets, like malls around the street as well, isn't there? And they're wide streets and really easy to find your way, and flat. Like there's no hills.
It's very, very flat.
Yeah. So there are lots of areas, and that shopping centre you're talking about, it was 2 or 3 stories, wasn't it? Very modern. There near the train station, so it has all the stuff that you're looking for if you're into shopping.
Yeah. Cairns does not have a natural beach in the city centre. However, just 15 to 25 minutes drive north, you'll find a beautiful stretch known as the Northern Beaches.
That's when you need your car.
Yeah.
But from Cairns up north along that beach drive is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. And even up to Port Douglas is just stunning. It's one of the nicest drives.
Just slowly weaving your way along the coastline, and it is those beautiful palm trees that are lying over the beach and the water. Yeah, it's a beautiful drive, one of the most picturesque in Australia.
Yeah. The most popular is the picturesque palm-lined beach with a charming village vibe and excellent waterfront dining, and it's Palm Cove.
Yeah, Palm Cove.
Yeah, so that's
Palm Cove, Trinity Beach. There's a few. Port Douglas.
Yeah, and you can swim there at certain times of the year because they have enclosures so you can swim there. Now there is
and that keeps the crocodiles, the sharks out, and if you're swimming in summer, then you're responsible for wearing a stinger suit.
But those beaches are beautiful.
And there are a lot of adult-only resorts along there as well. So Cairns is probably more a family-orientated place, whereas if you want more of an adult-only, you go to one of the islands or one of the little villages along the waterfront there.
Okay, things to do in and out of Cairns. So I've just listed these. You can have a punt at the Cairns Casino.
Yeah, the Reef Casino. It's huge too.
Yeah. There's the Sky Rail cable to Kuranda and the Kuranda Scenic Railway, which we won't go into now because we've done a specific podcast for
there's just so much in that we need to do it. Yeah.
All right. You can do the Spirit of Cairns dinner cruise, the Sunset Inlet River cruise, the Fitzroy Island full day trip, Green Island snorkeling or glass bottom boat.
You got to get to my favourite.
Guided jet ski tour, Cairns jet ski inlet croc spotting tour. There you go. Why you would do that is insane. Like, go on, Leanne, tell them why it's insane.
Oh, Lyle just absolutely hates crocodiles, and I can't imagine myself riding a jet ski, let alone going.
Imagine if you fall off. Like, Jesus. Like,
imagine if you didn't. You're right there on top. There's no railings to prevent you touching it. Anyway,
talking about we did a podcast out of Cairns.
Crocodile on the menus, I have to say too. Just saying.
Well, there's lots of them, so they can. But we did a podcast out of Darwin, remember?
Yeah.
And it was all about crocodiles, and there's photos and all that sort of thing of crocs and. Yeah. So anyway,
there is a lot to do, and it's mostly, well, not mostly, a lot of it's water based, and it's something for everybody. So if you are a bit more of an adventure junkie and you want to do the jet ski thing, good luck to you. If you want to do a sunset cruise in the protected water, it's not out on the open water. There's a lot of those that go on as well for a couple of hours, and you just take your time. And if you just want to avoid all of that, you just take the helicopter out to the reef.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, and you've also, it's not far from the Daintree Rainforest and Mosman Gorge, and you can do river tubing and all that sort of stuff. So there's an enormous amount of activities in this area.
I think what you really have to do is you need to go out and do a reef experience. And we chose one with a company called Reef Magic, and it was fabulous. From the time you book to the time you get on the boat, the staff are fabulous. The boat's just comfy as. It was about an hour and a half out to the pontoon, and the pontoon is right there on a huge reef area. So the minute you hop into the water, you literally can see coral and fish. You don't have to swim anywhere if you don't want to. And all your food's included. You go and get cups of tea for free. Lunch was included, morning tea, and all your snorkel gear. And we've done a few of these, and I'd have to say this was one of the best organised, and the equipment was in really good order, because obviously people are using it every day, but the goggles and the snorkels and the full suits that you wear as well. They've got all the flotation devices if you want a life jacket or you want to use a noodle. They're all there. And then the entrance into the water is actually really easy. And even for me with my sore leg, it was the stairs, the railings. It was very, very simple. And the procedure was fabulous. I thought it was great. And then there's some change rooms there to get into your gear. And the boat is right next to the pontoon, so you can get on and off the boat as your toilet, and you can leave your gear there if you want to. I just thought it was brilliant. So you can snorkel. There's scuba diving as well. Yeah.
Yep. I'll just give you a bit of a for those that may not know what the Great Barrier Reef is.
Oh yeah,
I'll give you some details on that. It's the world's largest coral reef ecosystem, over 2,300 kilometres along the Queensland coast, covering approximately 344,400 square kilometres. It's roughly the size of Italy.
Yeah, it's huge.
Visible from space, it encompasses over 3,000 individual reefs and 900 islands, supporting a mass diversity of marine life, including over 1,500 species of fish and 6 of the world's marine turtle species. As the actual trip, it departs Cairns at 9 o'clock and returns at 5. So, up to 5 hours at the reef activity platform.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Departs Cairns 9, I said that. Morning and afternoon tea. buffet lunch.
Which was great.
Yep. As Leanne said, all the snorkeling equipment, including wet and lycra suits, spacious sun deck with lounges and shaded areas, semi-submersible with interactive commentary.
Oh, yes, that's right. So that,
Okay.
yeah.
Glass bottom boat tours with cultural guide. Great barrier reef presentation by marine biologist. Underwater reef viewing observatory. Fish feeding with a marine biologist, which we saw at the back of the boat. That was actually incredible.
Yeah, got
to
some
watch.
great photos. Those
That
great
was
big
amazing.
fish jumping out of the water too.
Complimentary tea and coffee and filtered drinking water. Optional activities: guided snorkeling tour. Great for first-time snorkelers. Introductory scuba diving. There's no experience required. Helmet diving, which is perfect for the non-swimmer. Snorkel safari, which is what Leanne did. Suitable for comfortable snorkelers. Certified diving, helicopter experience. Options include a 10-minute scenic flight, fly one way to or from, or fly both ways to and from the pontoon by helicopter.
So there's a lot included. So even if you don't want to get in the water, you can experience the Great Barrier Reef by the glass bottom boat, which is I've got a nice photo of that long boat where you sit along the edge, right? And then, and as you said, the guide's giving you all the information. And then that semi-submersible, you go down and the guide just takes you around another reef around the outside. So brilliant way to see it. And then the underwater observatory, you just go down a few stairs and you can see all these fish swimming around. You can see the people snorkeling in the background. And then when you watch the fish as well, that was pretty impressive, wasn't it? So there is a lot to do. That helmet diving, that's fascinating. I've done that years ago. And you put the big helmet, like the old fashioned, and you walk around the bottom of you hang onto a rope and you're walking around it's just a fabulous experience. And we haven't seen that on any other pontoon.
No, that's true.
That we've done. So just so many things to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the day, as Leanne sort of indicated, the day does go really, really quick. Now, just the thing about the reef, there is a certain talking point or narrative about the reef being under threat and all that sort of thing. This reef is the size of Italy. So are there parts of the reef, we're talking about the natural environment, that are not pristine? Sure. But it's very, very, very minor. And Leanne and I, we've scuba dived the Great Barrier Reef many, many times. And I would have to say it's in better condition than it's ever been, ever since we've been scuba diving. So the actual experience, to see the colours of the reef, and it's just magnificent, and it's just so worth it if you can get the chance to either snorkel or dive. Now, the snorkeling, in some ways it's better to do the snorkeling than the diving, because all the colour is at the top of the reef, the main colours. So because of the sunlight, you can see that the best. So yeah, magnificent. Can't recommend
that reef experience. Reef magic.
Reef magic more highly. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, accommodation.
Other sorts of accommodation.
Yeah, Cairns offers everything from luxury eco hotels and bustling backpackers to family-friendly resorts.
Which is what we were in.
And beachfront holiday parks. Centrally located near the Marlin Marina, properties like the Crystal Brook Collection and Pullman's offer upscale dining, pools and reef access. Self-contained apartments, ideal for families and longer stays. These units offer full kitchens and separate living area spaces along the Esplanade and Trinity Inlet. Budget hostels, backpackers' favourites like Gilligan's, feature shared dorms, lively social scene, and resort-style pools right in the city centre. Holiday parks, properties such as the Big Four Ingenia, Holiday Cairns Coconut Resort offer cabins, campsites, and family amenities like water parks just outside the city. Beachfront retreats and motels located in the satellite suburb like Palm Cove or along the northern beaches. These offer a more laid-back vibe with direct beach access. Now, just before we go, another couple of highly recommended restaurants located in the pier precinct include the fish. We had the red curry crab and prawn, and I had the snapper. Leanne had that. Well, how good was that?
Yeah, that was the best. Yeah.
We actually went to that fish restaurant.
THA.
THA. We went there twice because it was that good. And all the other restaurants we went to were superb as well. But this one, that was our favourite. Another night we went to the Piatto.
To Mediterranean, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great menu. We had the creamy garlic and herb Moreton Bay bugs, mashed potato.
Stop it, you make me hungry.
Grilled broccolini, alla pepper. And the dessert was strawberry cheesecake. Seriously, amazing. And probably my favourite, of course it was my favourite, and it was all washed down with a bottle of Aunt Alice down by the River Riesling. It was a Tasmanian Riesling, and I reckon it's the best Riesling I've ever tasted.
It was nice, wasn't it?
So I'll just repeat that. Aunt Alice down by the River Riesling, and I think you can only get it online.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anywhere commercial. So, yeah.
So for us, it was a real food and dining experience, and that going out to the reef and just exploring. We didn't drive up into the hinterland or any of that sort of stuff. We had plenty of things to fill our days, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, Port Douglas is only probably 45 minutes up the road, and that's well worth a visit. But we're going to do. We've actually spent a bit of time in Port Douglas, so in the next couple of podcasts we'll do one on Port Douglas because it is spectacular.
No, where was your favourite place to have a glass of wine?
Oh, I've got to go the Salt House.
Okay.
I thought that was, so I'll take that back. The Salt House is fabulous, but I'm thinking I've got to go Piatto, the restaurant, because of Aunt Alice's wine.
Okay, all right. I think I'm going to go the Okra. Actually, no, Dundee's is where I had that lychee cocktail.
That's right, you did.
Yeah, that was beautiful. And I just love that experience of being outdoors but indoors, and that dining was wonderful. But the other place to have my favourite wine was on our balcony overlooking Cairns as the sunset. Was pretty beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah. Just one thing to remember though, before you book, there is in Cairns, obviously it's tropical, which means there's a wet season and a dry season. So just keep that in mind if you're going to book to go there. It's like the wet season, whether it's wet or dry season, it's still warm.
Yeah.
Basically, 12 months of the year. Obviously, the wet season would be fabulous to go and see all the Daintree and all that sort of stuff, because you'll have all the waterfalls and they'll be gushing and it'll be fabulous. But anyway, just keep that in mind.
Good idea. Yes, good advice. Right.
There's occasionally I come up with something.
You do. All right, well, it's goodbye from far north Queensland from me.
Yeah, see you later, folks. It's been a pleasure.